Hello, everybody. I'm Ernest. I think I might have changed my mind on Trump. Just to give you a little history on myself, um, I'm a 24-year retired veteran, Army and Air Force. I've served in both branches. Um, and in light of the recent events with Trump, the assassination attempt and the convention, uh, might have made me feel differently about Trump. I don't really consider myself a Republican, although I lean toward the conservative side of the House. Um, I don't know what to classify me as, but we have two choices coming up: Biden administration and the Trump administration, and we have history with these two parties. And I can't say I was ever a dislike Trump's policies because I can't say that. It's I would say it's I agree with most of the things that I'm aware of. Biden, I not so much, especially when it came to the border, um, and just it seems like the trade, the business that we do with other nations, we give other nations too much, and we don't come first. And I feel that Trump tends to do that more than Biden, even though I don't like politics in general. Um, it's become a business, or uh, it's just something smells, is what I'm trying to say. I don't trust the government, even though I work for the government. I still work for the government. I work civil service still to this day, and I don't always trust in the direction that we go, or by the ways that we are doing it at this current situation. But I always saw Trump. Let me go back to before Trump was our president and he was running for president. I thought it was a joke. I was like, oh, I didn't even take him seriously. And then he won the election, and I was like, wow, this just shows it's a popularity contest. Uh, that's a lot of it. What it comes down to. Um, I can't say I've been against Trump's policies because I pretty much agreed with everything that I can remember anyway during his administration. Biden, no. I found more things against that I didn't like that was happening with the Biden administration. Um, Stuff like the well, recent times is the border. That's just an example right there uh, of the of stuff that's been going on throughout his administration. Um, Now the parties are really split, and you can't hardly have a discussion anymore about politics without somebody getting angry. You have to pick one side or the other, and there's no back and forthness. Uh, it's not okay to be different. You got to pick sides, or you're an enemy or a friend, and I don't prescribe to that at all. Um, I think between the two choices that we have, Biden or Trump, and we have history of both now, I would have to go with Trump. Uh, I wish there was a other candidate. There's Robert Kennedy. which I see as promising. But he's not he's not in the running. He doesn't have the numbers. He's as good as you can be in your message and everything. You don't have the numbers in the polls. You're not going to win, and nobody's ever gotten elected that wasn't a Democrat or a Republican. I think the last one I heard was Lincoln, and that's because the newly formed Republican Party was just formed at, and he was the first one. So I think I'm right. And ever since then, it's been Republican or Democrat, nothing else in between. I think Ross Perot was doing some stuff some years back that kind of made some waves, but it's just not happened. And Robert Kennedy, as much I don't know as much about Robert Kennedy, but I like what I've heard so far from him. But I don't know everything there is to know about him. I think we need to get back to drilling oil. We need to be more self-reliant there, and other sources of power. Those will come about when it becomes feasible. When it, because we are going that way, whether we want to or not. It looks like it's going to happen eventually. Switching over to electric. I don't know if it's more efficient or not, or safer for our environment or not, but that is the trend, and I don't see it stopping. And we'll get there when it makes sense. But right now, I drive a gas. I rely on gas, and so does electricity. I used to work at electrical power plants, nuclear and fossil fuel, and you're using natural gas to make most electricity. I think every place I worked before was all natural gas, and maybe coal. So that's where your electricity come from, and that's where your car is going to be charged up from. It doesn't come out of the air, It's not solar power. It's not wind power. So anyway, back to Trump. When he first ran, and I thought it was a joke. I said, Trump, come on, the guy that had the TV show. He was well known before the election as a entrepreneur, celebrity type. I like to watch him because he was entertaining. His show was entertaining. You're fired. I remember him saying that. But when he ran for president, I didn't take him seriously. And, he won. And it's like, wow. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And he turned out to be not a bad president. But what has happened, it's become more intense, is this whole separation we have between Democrats and Republicans. And it kind of tears us apart where we can't be friends, almost, it's almost like you're from a different country or something. And we just can't get along. And Trump seems to bring that out in people. If just look at the convention that they had just recently, a lot of people were wearing cowboy hats. I wear a cowboy hat. I'm from Texas. I've been wearing it all my life. A country dance. I do all that stuff. I'm a typical Texan. But to the rest of the world, or the United States, that to them, they perceive it as racist. And some of the stuff that the Trump supporters do are very loud and very brash, I guess, like Trump, can be perceived as being a racist or being, uh, yeah, as a racist or something. But I wear a cowboy hat. I can tell you I'm not a racist. I don't think I am. Um, but when he got shot, uh, you know, I mean, he could have been killed. I mean, just an inch over, and it would have been a different story. Um, but he wasn't killed, and they picked him up, and everybody's seeing the pictures where he's raising his fists and saying "fight, fight, fight" right after he got shot. That is, to me, is very inspirational, and it shows the character of the man that's in it. He's very determined, uh, and he's a fighter. Uh, he's a fighter. I don't think that would have happened to Biden. He would have probably passed out. I don't know. Uh, you know, I don't think that's another thing too. I don't think Biden's running the country. I think the people in the background are running the country. Biden is a career uh, politician. I saw a video the other day where he was 29-year-old, I think, a senator, and he's been in it that long. He's 80, in his mid 80s, I think. You know, that's another thing. What physically can he do the job? And is he really doing the job? Who's running the country? I don't think he's all there. I don't, and you know, I mean, just like any person of an elderly age, there comes a time where you physically can't do stuff. And if he's not in charge, which I lean to think he's not, I don't get that sensation or that opinion, I'm sorry, when I listen to Trump or when Trump was in charge. Well, yes, he's got to negotiate. He's got to do things. No president has full control over everything, no matter who you are or what party you're at, because there's certain people that you have to appease, or groups you have to appease. But his granddaughter spoke, and I was inspired by her speech of her grandfather, and made to see his other side, his family side, and what type of person he is. So, given the two choices that we really have, my opinion has changed on Trump. Tell me what you think, because that's just me personally, what I'm thinking, and everybody has their opinion, and that's what the comment section is about. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.